Hello, everyone. I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'll be breaking down our next matchup for UFC London. This matchup we have Roman Dolidze taking on Christian Leroy Duncan. So this is one of only three fights on the card that do have a ranked contenders matchup, but this one is very well warranted. I will say Christian Leroy Duncan been on a nice win streak. And two of those be a very violent finish. Is Meanwhile, Roman Doildze, ranked, I believe, number 12, and after losing pretty badly to Anthony Hernandez, this is a good chance for him to build back up by taking on an unranked fighter, but at the same time, an unranked fighter who's earned this shot at the rankings. I will say this is one of those fights where I think both guys can absolutely give the other problems, or it can be kind of their nightmare matchup. Because you've got Duncan, who's one of the more dynamic strikers in the middleweight division, and the other hand, Dolidze, who's a very physically strong, grinding fighter with good jiu-jitsu, dangerous jiu-jitsu. So you do have a very much clash of styles. With that said, let's look at our two fighters. Starting with CLD. He's currently 13-2 as a professional, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. One of those wins was about 2 years ago against Claudio Ribeiro, who CLD finished via TKO. Then his last loss, which was at UFC 304, so we're talking July of 2024, lost to Gregory Rodriguez, who is a ranked contender now. Now CLD is on a nice 3-fight win streak, beat Andre Poilievre via unanimous decision, and then 2 amazing finishes against Eric Anders with that spinning back elbow and Marco Tulio with the spinning back fist. Yeah, CLD is a very fun striker, very crisp, technical, very composed. He's definitely one of the funner fighters to watch in the middleweight division, and he's 30, he's in his prime. He's a good contender, I think, and will be a ranked middleweight, and this is his opportunity. Now, you have Roman Doildze, who's currently 15-4 as a professional, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. One of Dolidze's most latest fights was a majority decision loss to Nasruddin Imavov. That was February of 2024. And given where Imavov is now, I mean, he's the number 1 contender, should be fighting for the belt, most people would argue. Not a bad loss. Then Dolidze went on a 3-fight win streak, beat Anthony Smith on short notice, beat Kevin Holland on short notice, where Dolidze, who was the number 10 ranked guy, did risk his rank on short notice against the unranked Kevin Holland. And then most recently beat Marvin Vettori in a rematch, which is Dolidze's last win, and that was March of last year. Now, his most recent fight was August of last year, where Anthony Hernandez just beat him ass to belt and just toyed with Dolidze, really. So that was a rough loss. And that was the kind of beatdown that can change a fighter, so there is some concern about that, but still, Dolidze has only really lost to the best, and when he lost to Marvin Vettori the first time, it was because at the time Vettori showed why he was a top-ranked middleweight. But with that said, let's get down to the breakdown. Starting with CLD. On the feet, he's one of the more dangerous and creative strikers at middleweight. Excellent range management, a wide variety of attacks, and real knockout power. CLD, he's very good at fighting long, using his reach, and picking opponents apart from the outside. I mean, he's also kind of like I said, 79-inch reach. He uses it to great effect. And what really separates CLD is his ability to mix in unorthodox strikes. I mean, like I said, his last 2 wins. One was a spinning back elbow. The other was a spinning back fist. And he throws them with confidence and accuracy, not just for show. So it shows also that CLD is very good timing. He doesn't just throw volume. He finds openings and capitalizes on them. And importantly, he's fast. And in this matchup, the speed advantage is going to be a major factor. Now, looking at Roman Doildze, he's a very different kind of fighter than CLD. Not as polished on the feet, but much more physical, gritty. Does carry good knockout power. I mean, shoot, he destroyed Kyle Dawkins' face with a knee and knocked out Phil Hawes with relative ease once he started landing. So for Dolidze, a lot of his striking is serviceable, but it's not his main weapon. Where Dolidze really becomes dangerous is in close quarters, because he's very good at pressuring opponents along the fence, pinning them against the fence as well. Excuse me. Very strong in there as well. Very hard to shake off. And oftentimes when Dolidze makes the fight ugly, it's his world. And while people often think he is just a grinder, which is true at times. I mean, you saw the Anthony Smith fight. I would say Dolidze is most technical when it comes to his jiu-jitsu. He has very slick jiu-jitsu off his back, like when he caught Phil Haas in the knee bar and kind of shredded his knee mid-fight, or when he got the calf slicer and Jack Hermanson, which was a very rare submission to get. So for Dolidze, he's very capable of fighting submissions and good at capitalizing on the scrambles. The issue is just the fight, is getting the fight there cleanly, because Dolidze, his wrestling entries aren't the most technical. It's more often relying on physicality and pressure rather than clean takedowns. But if he does get a hold of you, it's going to be a long night at the office. Now, looking at this stylistically, this fight has clear dynamics. Duncan wants space, Dolidze wants contact. If Duncan can keep at range, use his speed, and manage distance, he can absolutely pick Dolidze apart for 15 minutes. But if Dolidze is able to close said distance, press him to the fence, and force clinch exchanges, he could win a possibly boring decision. But, so that's where, because that's also where his strengths lie in Dolidze, right? And once the grappling starts, he can take over the fight effectively. So both guys have paths to victory, and both basically counter the other styles by being, one is a better technical striker, probably going to land the more impactful shots, but the other is physically stronger and a grinding type wrestler that can force the striker along the fence. But the biggest difference here is speed and the striking polish. Duncan is the cleaner striker, the faster athlete, and the more dangerous fighter at range. And in a match like this, those advantages, I think, tend to dictate how the fight plays out. If Duncan can maintain distance and avoid prolonged clinch exchanges, he should be able to control the fight. Plus, while Dolidze is going to be very strong in the clinch, very grinding, Duncan has some weapons there like his elbows in close, his knees. I don't think he's going to be helpless against the fence. But I definitely think if he gets it at range, he should win this fight. So I'm picking Christian Leroy Duncan, and I'm picking him via knockout or TKO in this one. I just think the speed, striking variety, and power should allow him to find the finish on the feet. So, with that being said, that has been my breakdown of this fight. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on who you think's going to win. But until then, I've been Bo from Brutal Commentary. I thank you all for listening. Remember, stay calm, stay respectful, and enjoy the violence. I'll see you all next time.